Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. I'm Elijah, and this is the message the Lord God hath given unto me to give unto you. Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. Oh, God told you, I'm going to send Elijah for the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And shall turn the hearts of the children back to the fathers, fathers' heart back to the children. What? At least I come and strike the earth for the curse. So that's the Lord God telling you those things, not me. And those things have started happening. Of course, you know, I had two dreams. Man, I dreamed last night. Man, you know, Lord God can send you a dream. All you got to tell you too many words. Lord God can tell you this a few words and shake you. And shake you up. And that's what he did. He gave me a few words and he shook me up. He reminded me that I didn't send you here for that. That's what he said. He didn't send me here for that. Okay, but let me continue on. So that's the dream that I had yesterday. I was lying down in bed. I was dreaming someone had came into the house. So I gets up and go to the rear of the apartment. I see a sliding door. Uh, and the doors are locked, but it's not. So I went to see if the sliding door was locked, but it was not locked. Um, so I slide it back just a little. Next I go looking to see who came into the house. It was a woman. She is in the bedroom. I have a brother and two children. I have a brother and two children in the bedroom with me. I tell her to take off her clothes. She said, okay, she have to use the bedroom. She want to walk out, but I wouldn't let her. I said, use the bedroom. Um, I said, use the bedroom right here. She can't because of the children, so I tell them to go in the other room. They leave out. She gets down on the toilet. Now, I never seen her face nor her nakedness. So as she's sitting on the toilet, I takes my hand and feel if she really using it. But she is. She stands up and look out at the window for someone to come and help her. Next, they have these two men at the front coming to the living room to protect her. See, they look like brothers. Two of them, they look like brothers. Next, there are four. Next, there are four of them. I don't know what to do now. It's a small group of them. Now I think for a second. So now I start speaking in the spirit. I tell them as they pass the spirit, uh, which ones are going to drop dead. So they fear me and start running away. So as they run, I'm still speaking in the spirit and telling them which ones shall drop dead. So that was the dream that I had. Yesterday I didn't release it to you. So I haven't released it yet. So I'm lying down in the bed. So as I'm lying down in the bed, I'm dreaming that it's a dream in a dream. You know, you have dreams in a dream. You have visions in dreams also. But in this dream, so I'm dreaming that someone had came inside the house. So I guess I wakes up, get out the bed, go to the sliding glass door in the back, and as I take the sliding glass door, I just pull it back a little bit just to see if it was locked or not. So as I see it's not locked. So now uh, I'm gonna search the house to see if who was in the house. But the next scene, you know how dreams are. The very next scenes, I'm in the bedroom with the woman with two children and a brother of mine. So as the so as so as I so as I tell her, say, take off your clothes, just like that. Now you're in a dream. Now you know how dreams are. You don't have control over dreams. You don't have control over. So I tell her, take off her clothes. Now she has on. I never see her face. Her hair, she's Israel. Her hair is black, jet black. I never get to see her face. And the dress that she have on, she don't have on no makeup, no fingernail, nothing like that. No fingernail polish, anything. Now she's black. And the dress that she have on is a white dress, but they have like the pattern on it is like a vine going up through the dress, and the leaves on it are like a pinkish, a light pinkish and a green type leaf that going up on the dress. So I tell her to take off. She said I have to use the bathroom, and I said so I said go ahead and use the bathroom, and she said no, I can't use the bathroom in front of him. So I tell the children and the brother to go. Say y'all leave out. So as she's sitting on the toilet, I just takes my, as she's sitting on, it's a dream now. So as she's taking on the toilet, so I take my hand and put it underneath, and I feel the urine going on my hand, and I feels her, yeah, touch her and everything like that. And so she stands back up. After she finished, she stands back up. So as she stands back up by the window now, you know how the flashes do. So I just like the flash and I saw on the toilet, a flash again, and the vision again. She was we had two men on the outside, so she was trying to get their attention. So she finally got their attention. So as she get their attention, so next scene, I'm in the living room. So they have two men. They look like brothers. They look like brothers, uh, brown eyes, brown hair, and they have two men on the side. But one of the men that I look on the right side, his face is tattooed. They tattooed in the eyebrows, and it looked like even tattooed in the nose, and like it was of that nature. So he had tattoos on his face. And on the other side, I didn't see him on the other side. And I see the two brothers that look alike, one small, one large, but they can tell that they are brothers. And so next I'm about to turn and walk away. Calling the police and nothing never came to my mind. So next I start speaking in the spirit, speaking in tongues. So as I'm speaking in the spirit, I'm telling them which one's gonna die during that time. So now they get frightened. Now they really frightened. I'm just telling you, they get really frightened. Now I ain't never after that. When they came in the house and lived around, I didn't see the woman anymore. I didn't see her anymore. So as they in the house and everything, so at first I turned back. So now I'm telling them which one's gonna die tonight. So as they leaving the house, I'm still speaking in tongues, still telling them which ones are going to die. Even as they leaving off and running away, I'm still pointing out which ones that was going to die. And then I wake up from that dream. So that was the dream, man. That was, I mean, I had dreams like that before, but man, that was so real. Then it was a dream inside of a dream. So that was one of the dreams. All right, next dream that I had. Next dream I had a dream by about what's that man's name? Robert De Niro and Wesley Snipes. So let me read that to you. And Paul Bettany. So I was standing up. Robert De Niro and the other came up, and Robert De Niro said, "Come with me." So we go to this one house with an old man, white, taking care of some paperwork. The other actor came and got me in an electric two-seat mobile. He said, "If you catch me, you can ride." I would say, "You can catch me, you can ride, but the seat is only 6 inches wide." That was he told me. Next scene, Robert De Niro is turning himself in. Just telling him what it is. I won't go back over the dream. So I just waiting and watching and don't know why he picked me. So I was waiting around. I pick up some stones. I see Wesley Snipes. Wait a minute. I pick up some stones. So as I pick up the stones, and I put them back down in the side of a driveway or in the crack. And then when I did that, these people drove up on a ramp. So I said, so these people drove up on a ramp. So I said, the people drove up on a ramp. They had, they had nothing, but they had a trailer. They had car people drive up. They have a trailer with all types of candies, zuzus in a trailer. They get out. They have on these elaborate costumes. I get back to the top of the ramp. They are parting, saying it is good to be back in the middle of the way. They are in canoes singing on them. Next, I'm still in waiting on De Niro. I skipped a piece. I skipped a piece. But anyway, so next I'm waiting on De Niro. The actor was with us, came over and asked me. All right, I'm telling you. So let me go back. So after I pick up the stones, go back to that. So as I pick up the stones, I'm standing. So I see Wesley. I'm waiting around. I pick up some stones. I see Wesley Snipe come up the street dressed in all brown with a brown derby on. Asked him, "When are you going to make another movie?" He said, "Whenever they ask me." So he walks up, and I go by De Niro. He walks up and go by De Niro. They have this car. Now I told you about the car, and the people come up with elaborate costumes and everything. So next, I'm still waiting on De Niro. This actor that was with Paul Bettany, the actor that was with us, come over and asked me, "Why are you still here? What do you want?" I said, "What do I want? Did I ask you for anything?" And while I was saying that, this I don't know if it was Wesley, but it looked like Wesley, and him and me on side by side. Before I was talking to him, he was moving back as we was talking to him. Paul Bettany was moving back. And I knew it was Wesley Saith, and he started moving forward, and the man started moving, backing up. Paul Bettany started backing up over the railing and fell down in this mud. At least I thought it was mud, but it wasn't mud. It was brown. I mean, it was brown. And he sat down up in it with his hands up and everything. And he fell down and sat down there. And Wesley said, "Now that's what you get." And then I woke up. So let me explain the dream to you. I was just standing around a group of people, a whole group of people, and I have a whole lot of men, everybody standing around. But Robert De Niro just come over, and he said, "You come with me," just like that. So I go with him. So I go with Robert De Niro. So next scene, as I'm going with him, they have Paul Bettany. He was Paul Bettany, and he was with us also. So it was Robert De Niro, me, and Paul Bettany. So we next scene we had this house, and in this house like a double. One side is one house, and on the other side, and you have a walkway in between the two buildings like that. And so they have this old man. This old man have a file in his hand, but I can hear Robert De Niro and somebody else talking. I didn't remember what they was talking about or what they said, but they was in there talking. And so as they was talking, I'm out there with Paul Bettany. So next, Paul Bettany goes off and he comes back. Now he's in this little scooter, like a gold-looking scooter type, and he come back, and and as he come back riding on a scooter, and then he asks me, "Do I want to ride?" And say, "If you catch me," then he start driving off. He say, "If you catch me, you can ride, but the seat is only about 6 inches wide." So I'm looking at the scooter, and the scooter, this regular scooter with the handles on it, and he's sitting on there, and then it's a two-seater, and so he's driving off in this electric scooter, and so he's asking, tell me, "See, if you catch me, then you can get a ride, but it's only about 6 inches. The width of the next seat is only about 6 inches." So as he's doing that and riding off, now I'm still walking. So next scene, Robert De Niro is turning himself in. We walk up this ramp type, how you walking up police station, whatever. Walk up in the ramp type. So Robert De Niro, he just go in there. Let me get ahead of myself again. Let me go back to before Paul Bettany drive up. They have this old man with a file in his hand and shaking his head. I think he said, "It's not good. It's not good," something like that. And so then after that scene, then Paul Bettany rides up on this electric scooter, and then he tells me, "If you catch me, you can ride with me, but the seat is only like 6 inches wide. 6 inches wide, and it's a gold-looking scooter." So, but the next scene, Robert Nero's turning himself in. I'm just waiting and watching and don't know why he picked me. Just like that. That's to myself, why this man picked me? So as he's saying that, so I'm just listening and waiting. And Robert Nero sit down there talking to whoever he's talking to. Didn't really look like no police station because they had no police calls or nothing like that around. It might have been a jailhouse. Could have been that. But anyway, so let me just finish with the dream. So I go out and walk through the driveway. So I see some stones, different shaped stones. So I pick these stones up. And so as I pick these stones up and I have the stones in my hand, I see a Wesley Snipe coming up the street. I know it Wesley Snipe, man. Or what that's like moves out of the scene. So he coming up the street dressed in a brown suit and have a brown derby on. So I hollered and screamed. I said, "Oh Wesley, when you gonna make another movie?" He said, "Whenever they ask me," just like that. And he happened, he going up, he walking up to go see Robert De Niro. And so as he doing that, so I take the stones on the side of the driveway and put the stones back. So as I put the stone back, here come this trailer with some people, a lot of people in this trailer, and they had about 2 trailers, and all they had on there is I'm saying Zuzus because that's what they call it. All they had was candies and stuff like M&Ms and candy bars and all types of stuff. That was in both of these trucks, both of these trailers. And so they had these people, and they had these people dressed up in elaborate costume. Now I don't know who they were, what they were, or anything of that nature. All I know, they were dressed up in elaborate costumes. And so as they dressed up in elaborate costume, man, they started to party and stuff like that. So they come around the building, and like the building have like a little waterway. And they in the canoes and they stand up and say, and one of them that stand up partying, they say it's good. They saying it is good to be back in the middle of the way. That's what they say. And then after that, after they, in the canoes and singing, and they still waiting on I'm still waiting on De Niro. Now they have this actor, Paul Bettany. He comes back over there. Now I'm on the driveway. I'm at the bottom of the driveway. Robert De Niro is in there sitting down talking to her. I'm starting to just walking around waiting because I really don't know why I'm waiting on. I just, because Robert De Niro just told me to come with him, and wherever he goes, that's where I was with. So Paul Bettany, he comes up and he asks and said, "What was it, man?" He said, he asked me, "Why are you still here? What do you want?" Just like that. And I said, man, what you saying? What do I want? I said, did I ask for anything? Just like that. So while I was saying this, Wesley Snipes come up on the side of me, and Paul Bettany still running his head, shooting his mouth off at me, and I'm just asking him. And so, Wesley Snipes heard that, and me and him both get on the side. So we start walking forward towards Paul Bettany, and Paul Bettany is steadily backing up. And so as we talking, approaching him, telling him stuff, so he backs up and he falls back over the rail. So as he falls back over the rail, I'm thinking he's going to fall over, but he falls in a pile of dung. It had to be dung because it was brown. It wasn't black like mud or nothing you see after something dry up. And he's sitting in there, his butt in there, his feet in there, his hands in there, everything in there but his face, and he's sitting up. And then then as he said that, me and Wesley fight with that, and he fell down in his dung. And Wesley said, "Now that's what you get." And then I woke up from that dream. So that's 2 dreams, and I have a old dream that I want to tell you about. But let's go there. Let's go to the first dream I have written down. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 20. Let's see, Ezekiel chapter 20. So, no, let's go to Jeremiah chapter 44. I think that's the first one. Jeremiah chapter 44. Okay, the word came to Jeremiah concerning all the Jews that dwell in the land of Egypt, which dwell in Magdal, with Typus, Nope, in the country of Pathros, saying, "Thus say the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, we have seen all the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem, upon all the cities of Judah. Behold, this day there are desolation, and no man dwelleth therein. because of their wickedness which they have committed to provoke me to anger, that they went to burn incense and to serve other gods whom they know not, neither they yet nor their fathers. So let me say, because of their wickedness which they have committed to provoke me to anger, and that they went to burn incense and to serve other gods whom they knew not, neither they yea nor their fathers. Howbeit I sent unto you all my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, and saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. And the Lord God still doing it, still doing it. He haven't stopped sinning. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness to burn no incense unto other gods. Wherefore my fury and my anger was poured forth, and was kindled in the cities of Judah and the streets of Jerusalem, and they are wasted and desolate as at this day. Therefore now thus says the Lord God hosts, God of Israel, wherefore commit ye this great evil against your souls, to cut off from you man and woman, child and suckling out of Judah, to leave you none to remain, and that you provoke me unto wrath, the works of your hands, burning incense to other gods in the land of Egypt, whether you been gone to dwell, that you might cut yourself off, and that you might be a curse and a reproach among all nations of the earth. And we are that. We definitely are that. Have you forgotten the wickedness of your fathers, and the wickedness of the kings of Judah, and the wickedness of their wives, and your own wickedness, and the wickedness of your wives, that they have committed in the land of Judah, in the streets of Jerusalem? They are not humble even unto this day, neither have they feared, nor walked in my law, nor in my statutes that I have set before you and before your fathers. Therefore, thus say the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will set my face against you for evil, to cut off all Judah. So, yeah, these pastors and preachers telling you that God is for you and all that, but that's a lie. That's a lie. Look, he said, therefore, thus say the Lord God of hosts, the God of Israel, behold, I will set my face against you for evil, and to cut off all Judah. And I will take the remnant of Judah that have set their face to go in the land of Egypt to sojourn there, that have all, and they shall all be consumed and fall in the land of Egypt. They shall even be consumed by the sword, by the famine, and they shall die, for at least even from the least even unto the greatest, by the sword, by the famine, there shall be execration and astonishment and a curse and a reproach. So all those things that have happened to us, man. Come on, man. We hate it all through all over the world. For I will punish them that dwell in the land of Egypt. I will punish Jerusalem by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence. So none of the remnant of Judah, which are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, shall escape or remain, that they shall return to the land of Judah, to which they have desired to return to dwell there. For none shall return, but such as shall escape. And so, well, we know that didn't happen, man. All them people that they took over the ships and everything, you got to go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, 68 and find out what that means. And all the men which knew their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt and Patros, answered Jeremiah, saying, as for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord, we will not hearken unto thee. And they haven't. I mean, I'll keep telling them, howling and screaming and doing everything. They're not going to hearken unto me. But we will certainly do so. Yeah, but we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, to pour our drink offering unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings, our prince, in the city of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then have we plenty of victuals, and we were well and saw no evil. Well, okay. I mean, that was you saying now. That's what you're saying, but that curse hasn't gone out. And that's what you told the Lord God, we're going to do it. And that's what you've been doing. You're in this church house, synagogue, sanctuary, high places, temples. Yeah, you do it as you pour out your drink offerings to the Queen of Heaven. You make all this fruit, St. Joseph Day. You make all that food and all that stuff. And you're doing as you please. But let's finish. Let's finish. Let's see what it says. But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, pour our drink offering unto her, we had wanted all things that have been consumed by the sword and by the famine. So they started back doing it. That's what you're doing now. But guess what? Let's see. And when we burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, poured our drink offering unto her, then we make her cakes to worship her, and poured out our drink offerings unto her without our men. Then Jeremiah said unto all the people, to the men and to the women and to all the people which have given him that answer, saying, but let me get right. I hope they do, man. These people, these Catholic people, Jews, all of them do the same thing, man. You're out there, you're making all these cakes and pouring out drink off and everything, and you have that that altar and all those things. You know what you're doing? Yes, you know what you're doing, and you're doing it, and then you're gonna say you're doing more than that, man. You have these conferences and things, and what they call them pastors and preachers where they get them gathering. They're doing so many of them now. TGJ got his gathering, Creflo Dollar got his gathering, Joel Osteen got his gathering, and all of them got their gathering for do what? What they gathering for? And what they gonna do at those gatherings? Come on, man. Then Jeremiah said to all the people, to the men, to the women, to all the people which have given him that answer, saying, the incense that you burn in the cities of Judah and the streets of Jerusalem, and ye and your fathers, your kings, your princes, the people of the land, did not the Lord remember them, and came it not into his mind, so that the Lord could no longer bear because the evil of your doings, because of the abomination which you have committed. Therefore is your land a desolation and astonishment and a curse, and without inhabitant as this day. And we know what that is. We already know what part of that came out. But now it's happening again all over the world. Yeah, the curse, the astonishment, the curse, desolation, well, it's starting again. Because you have burned incense, because you have sinned against the law, and have not obeyed the voice of the law, nor walked in his law, nor in his statutes, nor in his testimony. Therefore this evil is happening unto you as is this day, is it not? Moreover, Jeremiah said unto all the people, to all the women, hear the word of the law, all Judah that are in the land of Egypt. Well, in the land of your captivity. Hear the word of the Lord. I'm telling you. Thus said the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, saying, ye and your wives have both spoken with your mouth and fulfilled with your hands, saying, we shall surely perform our vows that we have vowed to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, to pour out drink offering unto her. We surely accomplish your vows and surely perform your vow. Therefore hear the word of the Lord, all Judah that dwell in the land of Egypt. Behold, I have sworn by my great name, says the Lord, that my name should no longer that my name should no more be named in the mouth of any man of Judah in all the land of Egypt, saying, the Lord liveth. Behold, I will watch over them for evil and not for good. And all men of Judah that are in the land of Egypt shall be consumed by the sword and by the famine till there be an end of them. That's God. I'm going to tell you about it. I'm finished telling you. Yet a small number that escaped the sword shall return out of the land of Egypt to the land of Judah. And all the remnant of Judah that are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there shall know whose words shall stand, mine or theirs. And this shall be a sign unto you, saith the Lord, that I will punish you in this place, that you may know that the words shall surely stand against you for evil. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will give with Pharaoh Hophira, king of Egypt, to the hand of his enemies, and to the hand that them that seek his life, as I gave Zedekiah, the king of Judah, to the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, his enemy that sought for his life. So that's what you're waiting on now. We're waiting on to see. I will give Pharaoh Hophira, the king of Egypt, to the hand of his enemies. So, well, we're going to see. We're going to see what you did. All right, now let's go to Ezekiel chapter 20. Ezekiel chapter 20. I know I read, here, Psalms 95. Let me see, let's go there for you. Psalms 95. Let's see what Psalms 95 see. I've written it down. Psalms 95. Well, the Lord God give it to me, and as he give it to me, I just write it down. Come, Psalm 95. Oh, come, let us sing unto the Lord. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before the presence with thanksgiving and make a joyful noise on him with songs. For the Lord is a great God, a great king above all gods. In his hand are the deep places of the earth. The strength of the hills is his also. The sea is his. He made it. His hand formed the dry land. Oh, come, let us worship, bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. For he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture and the sheep of his hand. Today, if you hear his voice, harden not your heart as a provocation, as in the day of temptation in the wilderness, when your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my work. 40 years long will I grieve with this generation, saying, it is a people that do err in their heart, that they know not. I'll repeat that. Psalm 95, verse 10. 40 years long have I grieved with this generation, saying, it is a people that do err in their heart, and they have not known my ways. Unto whom I swear in my wrath that they should not enter into my rest. That's the Lord God telling you that. All right, let's go to Psalm 101. Now, let's see. Well, I mean, this is the Lord God telling you these things. Not me, it's God's word. Psalms 101. I will sing of mercy and judgment unto thee, O Lord, will I sing. I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. O when will thou come unto me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. I will set no wicked thing before my eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. It should not cleave to me. A forward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person. Whoso privately slander his neighbor, him will I cut off. Him that have a high look and a proud heart will I not suffer. My eyes shall be on the faithful of the land, that they may dwell with me. He that walketh in a perfect heart, he shall serve me. He that worketh deceit shall not dwell in my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. I will early destroy all the wicked of the land, that I cut off all wicked doers from the city of the Lord. So that's the Lord God telling you that. It's not me telling you those things. So let's go to, well, I know my time will run out. Ezekiel chapter 20. Ezekiel chapter 20. I'm going to tell you another dream when I finish this. Ezekiel chapter 20. I want to say it again. Ezekiel chapter 20. Man, I have so much. Ezekiel chapter 20. I have read this to you before, but let's go there again. And it shall come to pass in 7 years, in the 5th month, the 10th day of the month, that certain of the elders of Israel came to inquire of the Lord and sat before me. Then came the word of the Lord unto me, saying, Son of man, speak unto the elders of Israel, and say unto them, Thus say the Lord God, are you come to inquire of me? As I live, say the Lord, I will not be inquired by you. Wilt thou judge them, son of man? Wilt thou judge them? Cause them to know the abominations of their father. And that's hey man, that's what you're doing, the abomination of your fathers. You're not keeping all God's 10 commandments. You're not entering back in the bonds of forever covenant. You haven't shaken off the things of this world. You haven't. No, you haven't. Then you taught your children how to do these things. And it's gone ill with them. And not telling them, got to keep all God's commandments, not telling them to enter back the Bible of God. But what you're telling them to run behind these idols and serve these idols, the gods of wood and stone, go in this church houses and serve, run behind fine gold raiment, gold, silver. And it's coming on. He said unto them, Thus say the Lord God, and then when I chose Israel, lift up my hand unto the seed of the house of Jacob, and made myself known unto them in the land of Egypt, when I lift up my hand unto them, saying, I am the Lord your God. And that in the day that I lift up my hand unto them, and bring them forth out of the land of Egypt, into a land that I espied for them, flowing with milk and honey, which is the glory of all lands. This say unto them, Cast you away every man the abomination of his eyes, and defile not yourself with the idols of Egypt, for I am the Lord your God. And you doing the same thing, man. But they rebelled against me and would not hearken unto me. They did not every man cast away the abomination of their eyes, neither did they forsake their idols of Egypt. Then I say, I will pour out my fury upon them, accomplish my anger against them in the midst of the land of Egypt. And that's what's going on now, because you're serving all these false gods, idols in the church house, synagogue, sanctuary, temple, high place, and you see it going ill with you, but you still refuse to keep all God's commandments and enter back the bonds forever covenant. You still refuse to go and do what Lord God says. He said, return unto your fathers. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Naphtali. Go take a hold of the everlasting inheritance that your fathers left you. Go into the bonds of forever covenant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Go raise back up the posterity, the righteousness of Enoch, the grace of Noah, and the holiness of Shem. But you refuse to do this. You refuse. You steadily run behind these things that can't help you. Well, let's finish reading. But they rebelled against me and would not hearken unto me. They did not every man cast away the abomination of their eyes, neither did they forsake the idols of Egypt. Then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them, to accomplish my anger against them in the midst of the land of Egypt. That's the land that you're in right now. But I wrought for my name's sake that I should not be polluted before the heathen among they were in whose sight I made myself known unto them, and bringing them forth out of the land of Egypt. Wherefore I caused them to go forth out of the land of Egypt, brought them into the wilderness, which we're going to go again. And I gave them of my statutes and showed them my judgment, which if a man do, he shall even live in them. Moreover also I gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign between me and them, that they might know that I am the Lord that sanctified them. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 15, and know of that. But the house of Israel rebelled against me in the wilderness. They walked not in my statute, and they despised my judgment, which if a man do shall even live in them. And my Sabbaths they greatly polluted. Then I say, I will pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness to consume them. But I wrought for my name's sake that it should not be polluted before the heathen whose sight I brought them out. Yet also I lifted up my hand in the wilderness, that I would not bring them into the land which I have given them, flowing with milk and honey, which is the glory of all lands. Because they despised my judgment and walked not in my statute, but polluted my Sabbath, for their hearts went after their idols. Nevertheless, my eyes spared them from destroying them, neither did I make an end of them in the wilderness. But I said unto the children in the wilderness, that's us, walk ye not in the statutes of your fathers, neither observe their judgment, nor defile yourself with their idol. I am the Lord your God. Walk in my statutes, keep my judgments, and do them, and hallow my Sabbaths, that there may be a sign between me and you, that you may know that I am the Lord your God. But are you doing that? No, you're not doing that. Nevertheless, notwithstanding, the children rebelled against me. They walked not in my statutes, neither kept my judgment to do them. Which if a man do, he shall even live in them. They polluted my Sabbath. Then I say, I will pour out my fury upon them to accomplish my anger against them in the wilderness. And that's what's happening now. God's fury is being poured out upon you. But you don't see it that way. I know. I know. You're in the land of your enemy. You're in the land of the heathen. Well, let's see. Nevertheless, I withdrew my hand and wrought for my name's sake that it should not be polluted in the sight of the heathen, whose sight I brought them forth. I lifted up my hand unto them also in the wilderness, that I will scatter them among the heathen, disperse them through all the country. So you know that's happening. Because they have not executed my judgment, but had despised my statute, had polluted my Sabbath, and their eyes went after their father's idols. And that's what you're going on now. Yeah, well, your father's idol, all you got to do is go read the book of Hashir, and Father Abraham tell you about the gods that Nimrod then was serving. That's what you're doing right now. That you're serving the 12 gods. Wherefore I gave them also, well, not just the 12 gods, you're serving the fallen angels, the demons. This is what you're watching right now. Understand what you think, well, what technology you think you're looking at? Wherefore I give them also statutes that was not good, and judgment whereby they should not live. And you're doing that because you're not keeping God's holy commandments. You're not keeping all God's commandments. You have to turn the day. That's in the book of Jubilees. That's the prophecy. That's the prophecy. The Lord God tell you of the prophecy that what was going to happen when you start keeping 364 days. Man, come on, bro. Lord God cannot lie. And I have polluted them in their own gifts, and they caused to pass through the fire all that opened the wound, that might make them desolate, to the end that they might know that I am the Lord. Therefore, Son of Man, speak unto the house of Israel, and say unto them, Thus say the Lord God, Yet this your fathers have blasphemed me, and they have committed a trespass against me. For when I brought them into the land of which I lift my hand to give it to them, They saw every high hill and all the thick trees, and they offered their sacrifice and their present the provocation of their offering. They made their sweet savor and poured out their drink offerings. Then I said to them, what is the high place whereunto you go? And the name thereof is called Bama unto this day. Wherefore you say unto the house of Israel, thus say the Lord God, are you polluted after the manner of your fathers, and to commit ye whoredoms after their abomination? Yes, you're doing it. Yes, you are doing it. Well, let's finish. For when you offer your gifts, you make your sons to pass through the fire. You pollute yourself with all your idols, even unto this day. And shall I be required of you, O house of Israel? As I live, say the Lord God, I will not be required by you. And that which cometh into your mind should not be at all that you say you will be as the heathen, as the families of the country, to serve wood and stone. That's what you're doing. Yeah, you going into these church houses, synagogue, sanctuary, high place, temple, and you think you're serving God, but you're not. All you got to do is listen to the end of the broadcast. Yeah, listen to the end of their broadcast, and when they start begging, because that's all they a bunch of beggar hypocrites, speaking hypocrisy, teaching hypocrisy. As I live, say the Lord, surely with a mighty hand and stretched out arm, and with my fury poured out, will I rule over you. And that's what's happening now. I'll bring you out from the people, and I will gather you out of the country wherein you are scattered with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm, and my fury poured out. And I'll bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face. See, God is going to be with us. See all that? Oh, I'm coming to God, coming to fly us away and bring us to heaven. That's a lie. That's Lord God telling you right there, showing you right there. That's a lie. Like as I plead with your fathers in the wilderness and the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, say the Lord God. And I'll cause you pass under the rod. I'll bring you into the bond of the covenant. So you know what the covenant is? Go read Jubilees chapter 2. The second chapter of Jubilees, in chapter 1 also, but go read the second chapter of Jubilees and find out what the covenant is, the forever covenant. Or read Deuteronomy chapter 25. Go read Deuteronomy chapter 20. See this paper? Not by might, not by power, but by my spirit's on there. Everything the Lord God gave to me, I put it on there to give to you. That's the message of the Lord God. That's what he told Zerubbabel. Not by might, not by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord, who's not giving you that message. So you don't have to do it, but don't worry about it. But look at the Lord God say, I will cause them to pass on while I bring them to the bind of the covenant. I'll purge out them from among the rebels and them that transgress against me. I'll bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they should not enter into the land of Israel, and you should know that I am the Lord. As for you, O house of Israel, thus say the Lord God, go ye, serve ye everyone his idols, and hereafter also. And if you will not hearken unto me, but pollute ye my name, holy name no more with your gifts and with your idols. And so that's what you're doing, with your gifts and your idols. What you doing? Tell me what you're doing. Buy my CD, buy my thing, buy my little cricket, send for my prayer cloth, buy my book. Come on, man. Then you got to dress a certain way and have all these different things when you go into the Lord God. What do you think the Lord God is talking about? For in my holy mountain, the mount, the height of Israel, says the Lord God, there shall all the house of Israel, all of them in the land, serve me. There will I accept them, and there will I require your offering, the first fruits of your oblations. With all your holy things, I will accept you with a sweet savor when I bring you out from the people and gather you out of the country where you have been scattered, and I'll be sanctifying you before the heathen. And that's going to happen. Yeah, well, I told you, I didn't tell you a dream. I had a dream this other day about God, Lord God, collecting 144,000 people mad at me. I don't care. Go give it out that paper, man. Go give out not by might, not by power, but by my spirit. 144,000 being collected. I told you that. I will accept you with your sweet savor and bring you out from the people and gather you out of the country wherein you have been scattered. And I will be sanctifying you before the heathen before I let me go. I'm supposed to read something else to you. But when you go to this book right here, the Testament of 12 Patriarchs, I don't care where it's at. Go listen to Testament of 12 Patriarchs by Robert Jones and see how our father, just like the Lord God said, this is how he coming to get us. And all our fathers prophesied that how he was going to come and get us and bring him. When we repent with our whole heart, what's going to happen to us? Especially our father Judah and our father Dan. Come on, man. Come on, man. And you should know that I'm the Lord when I bring you to the land of Israel, to the country from which I lift up my hand and give it unto your father. And there shall you remember your ways and all your doing when you have defiled, and you shall loathe yourself in your own sight for all your evils that you have committed. And you shall know that I am the Lord when I have wrought with you for my name's sake, not according to your wicked ways, nor according to your corrupt doing, O ye house of Israel, say the Lord God. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face towards the south, and drop the word towards the south, and prophesy against the forest of the south field, and say to the forest of the south, Hear the word of the Lord. Thus say the Lord God, Behold, I will kindle fire in thee, and shall devour every green tree in thee, and every dry tree, and the flaming flame should not be quenched, and all the faces from the south to the north shall be burned therein. And all the flesh shall see that I, the Lord, have kindled it. It shall not be quenched. Then say I, Aha, Lord, they say of me, do thou not speak parables? Well, I'm just telling you, all I can do is give it to you as the Lord God has given it to me. All right, so I got another dream for you before I cut off. Oh, I guess I could. Let me see. Proverbs. I mean, I should say this for another day, another time. Well, I guess I could. I guess I can. I can say this for another day, another time. So, but if y'all want to know, it's Hosea chapter 7. No, right to you. Okay. Well, I mean, I have so much for you know. The Lord God kept giving it to me. And when you learn it, and the Lord God teaching, He gives you everything, whether you say it or not. You have to know it. You have to know it. Whether you use it right then or whatever, you have to know. You have to know what does say the Lord God, who you are. And that's the bad problem right there. You got these people calling you African Americans and all these different names when you are Israel. You're black people, but you are Israel. You are God's chosen people. And He's the one that scattered throughout all the nations. I just finished all nations, kindred, tongues, and race. But now is the gathering, the confirmation. That's why I tell you, like He said, the battle should be like the battle in the day of Midian. Only 300 copies. That's all you have to do. Just go give out 300 copies. Man, I'll give it to you at the Lord. Whether you do it or not, it already has been done. All I can do is tell you it has been done. Whether you do it or not, that's up to you. It depends on how close you want it and how your faith in God is. Well, that's all I can do is give it to you. Of course, you know, I said that I told about Paris. I told Paris, I had a dream about this family a long time. About, I want to say it's 20, it's been so long now. Been at least 3 years, might be 4 years. I was in Jamaica, and I told this dream before. Yeah, in one of my early videos, I told this dream. I was in Jamaica, and in Jamaica, I had this dream. I had a few dreams down the dream. Because as I gave out 300 copies, the Lord God, and doing what thus says the Lord God, He started adding on to me and adding on to me and giving me more dreams, vision, and teaching me more of what's going on, teaching me the truth. That's what He did. So I broke this. I guess they had this brass. I don't want to say brass gates or something. So I broke them. Then I go through this like a playground, but they have these iron balls. So I go through these iron balls. So when I get through the iron balls, I go up the stairs. And when I get up the stairs, they have these two men. One man, he already sit down. He have a bottle. And they don't have no food on the table, nothing. All he have is bottle. I told this in another dream, in another video. And all he has is this bottle of liquor, and so or rum or whatever it is. So next, his friend come in there, and boy, and they start playing and talking to each other, and they don't have no food. All they have is this one bottle of rum. So the next scene, after I see them there and they're talking and speaking, I don't remember what they was talking and speaking about. But all I know, they had no food in the house, they had nothing, but all they had this one table and this one bottle of rum, and both of the men was talking to each other and drinking this bottle of rum. I had this dream when I was in Jamaica. Yeah, well, I told you about the dreams I had in Jamaica. This is in one of my videos. But anyway, so after that, next scene, I'm sitting on this bench, like the wooden bench. You know, you had to have that the table and the bench combined as wood, like they have in the parks and things. It was one of those type of benches, but it was made of wood. And so I was sitting on there with a couple other people, and I'm eating corn. And I'm eating corn or barley. I might have been eating rice, barley. So as I'm eating this rice and everything, I get up. Well, I have company now. This is not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord. I'll get given this dream some other time. I'm Elijah until next time.